All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's been about a year since I've been able to post. Um, Life's been pretty busy. Hope all's well with you guys. Um, just got a free second today from work, and I was going to show you guys some of the things I've done since last time. There's been a couple different changes, couple add-ons, stuff like that. Also I guess a safety thing that I want to tell you all about that I'm not really too pleased with after owning it for so long. But I guess we'll start with the safety thing. I was mowing the lawn this year. Hadn't mown it all winter, of course. And, first time going out and going down all the straight parts, flat spots on my land. And going fine. And I got to the pond. And the pond we have is just like a fire department pond. They build them so if there's like a forest fire or something, the helicopters can dip water out, whatnot. And I was going down the slope and cutting the grass, and I needed to reverse, and I hit reverse. And what happens? Whole tractor shuts off. Tractor shuts off, deck shuts off, everything. Hydraulics go into neutral, basically. And the tractor rolls down into the pond, almost. I slammed the brakes on, and luckily I had the four-wheel drive activated. So all four wheels brake. If you don't have the four-wheel drive activated, only the rears brake. I guess it's a hydraulic system, whatnot. I don't know too much about it. So luckily I had the four-wheel drive engaged, so all the wheels locked up and stopped me, but the front axle was in the pond. Tried to reverse, engaged the locking differential, locked it all up, tried to back out, couldn't back it out, it's too steep. Didn't have any ass weight, just had all the weight on the front, and those little tires were already in the muddy water, so it wasn't doing much. Luckily, and I always tell people when you cut your lawn, carry your cell phone. You never know what's going to happen if you need to call 911 or something. I had my cell phone. I was able to call my wife. She came with the truck and a chain, hooked up to the drawbar in the back, yanked me out. Crisis averted. Stupidest design I've ever seen in my entire life. Every other tractor I've ever had, if you got the PTO going and you hit reverse, the blade shuts off, not the tractor. That's real stupid. If your blade bogs down and gets too low RPM, the blade shuts off, not the tractor. It's a safety design. Who wants to be on the side of the hill and have your tractor shut off, and now you're just rolling down the hill? So, I went online, and there's videos you can watch. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like disengaging the PTO safety. It's a little mechanism under the seat. I should have taken it apart, but I didn't think about it. It's under the seat about right there. And it's just a little switch. When you hit your reverse, it hits that switch, and if your PTO's engaged, it shuts it all off. They want you to pull the little yellow button. It pulls out a little bit. That's stupid. That, honest to God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. What's more dangerous, backing up with your blades on, or hitting the reverse and the whole tractor shutting off, and then rolling into a hill or rolling into the road and getting hit by a vehicle? That's really the kind of the dumbest thing I've ever seen on a tractor. I don't know if they plan on fixing it. Seems real stupid. But, other than that, it's still going strong. I did break the drive shaft from the mower deck. I don't know if you can see it. Mower deck to the tractor. I broke the yoke. Just cutting the grass. Mower deck stopped. Didn't know what happened. Thought the belt popped. Looked. Everything was fine. Looked even further, snap. I always grease. I don't use the cheap stuff for the grease. I have to use the John Deere stuff because they told me, I think it's BS, but they say they can test the grease and see if it's their grease or not. Don't know if that's true or not. But I always use the John Deere stuff just so if there's any warranty issues, it's taken care of. I don't have to worry about them saying crap. But they fixed it, of course, under warranty. It was out like 2 weeks. My grass got about 2 feet high. Had to mow my yard like two or three times with different levels of deck down, just to be able to get the whole thing mowed down. But other than that, I always, and I don't know if anybody else has trouble with it, but I always have trouble with the deck attaching and taking it off and putting it back on has always been an issue for me. And I've taken into the John Deere people several times, and they've adjusted this, that, and the other, but I never seem to get it on and off like in the commercials. And I don't know if anybody else has that issue, but that's just one of the problems I've had with it. But other than that, no motor issues. Has plenty of power. I mean, pulls. I'm pretty heavy, and it pulls me up the hill without any issues. I mean, if the grass gets really tall, it'll start to slow down. You just let off the throttle. I mean, let off the go button a little bit, and it'll pick back up and keep on going. So I mean, other than that, for pretty much a baseline tractor, it's pretty good. It's well worth it. I think I might just have gotten a deck that has like a lemon issue, but there's no way to know for sure, But other than that, I mean, I've had, knock on wood, no issues with the tractor or anything. Now I have done some new things. I have seen a lot of people, like Tractor Therapy has been using a Femco pull behind sprayer, I believe he has, with the spray booms. And I looked at that, and that's like a couple $100. I don't have money for that. I don't want to spend that much money. And plus, I had this trailer already, and I was like, why don't I just get like the ATV one? That's what I did, a 15-gallon ATV one, and mounted it in the trailer. So now I can put my chainsaws, chop saws, whatever, rakes, axes, whatever I need, and weed eater underneath, gas, whatever, and still have the sprayer, so I can tow it all around behind me and just knock out the proper. I don't have to go back and forth. I don't have to have the spray trailer behind me. I can have everything behind me and just go on and knock it all out. And the switch, the wires they gave you was like, cheap stuff. It was alligator clips, and they didn't even reach all the way up to the battery. And I got a small tractor, so I'm like, now maybe because I got the ATV on, it's shorter, but I also saw that the guy Tractor Therapy had issues with it too. Wasn't reaching up, and he was going to plug it into a cigarette lighter. Well, my tractor don't have a cigarette plug lighter, so I just went ahead and was like, hey, 12-volt system, use a trailer harness. And that's what I did. And wired it up, and only 2 of the wires are on here. One's the ground, the white one, and the brown is the hot. And I wired it up to this, and I put a Jeep Daystar switches, the same ones I use for the LED lights. I put them up here, and I can turn it on and off whenever I want. And then I run I believe it's called a Blue Sea fuse box, covered fuse box. Ran an 8 gauge wire to it. The wire in the fuse box the fuse box I think can hold 100 amps of power, and the wire was like 65, but the only fusible inline link I could find was a 30 amp, which is plenty. I mean, both lights are pulling 5, and the trailer's pulling like 5, I believe. So altogether, I'm right now at 10, because both lights are on a 5. So 10 total. And I don't really see me adding too much other stuff to it, but I like to give myself options so I have it later down. But they all run to the switch, and I did it like that. Now I left these, I was going to just chop these wires off, but I said, let me keep it, because you never know what might come up later. And I thought, because I have a big busy road that I live on, and I thought maybe I could hook these lights to that, and then run wires and run lights on the back of this, so I can at least have flashes and turn signals on the trailer when I'm out on the road. So I think I'm gonna do that. And plus I don't like all this electrical tape and stuff. This is just temporary, just to see if this trailer worked out like it was supposed to. I'll get wire loom like this and wire loom it and make it look not so crappy. Anything else I've done, I added another LED just up top, and then that's about it, except for I had a run-in with a local bear, and I was mowing the top half and had my cell phone again. I thought it was my dog. I have a big Great Dane, and thought it was the dog. Thought the dog got out. Called the dog's name. Bear turned around, stood up on his hind legs. I said, that's not my dog. So I ended up calling my wife, who was in the house, and I said, can you do me a favor? And she said, what? I said, can you go get the pistol and come outside and shoot something into the ground, because there's a bear and he's looking right at me. And she did that, and the bear, of course, ran off. The tractor was running. I was making all sorts of noise. The bear really didn't care that I was there. That's what kind of scared me, because normally bears tend to stay away from you when you're making noise. And he didn't really care, so I got some Kydex. And you can see I made one hole by mistake. Yes, I feel horrible about that. But mounted it, and now it's stainless steel nuts and bolts, and the Kydex is of course plastic, so it'll stay fine. So it can be all-weather holster basically. And there's a hole in the bottom, so there's no water going to collect or anything like that. So, I mean, that's all about really I've done to it so far. Nothing too crazy as of right now. No plans to do anything too crazy. I haven't made the sheath for the axe yet. I have some Kydex left over. I think I'm going to do that. Or I have some leather left over. I think I'm going to do that. But I did see that comment that somebody should. And the axe in my truck is sheathed. So I just basically haven't got around to it. And right now, I mean, it's not gonna, I mean, if it fell on you, it hurts you, but that's about it. But that's all I got going on right now. I'll try and make some other videos of the different chicken coop things I've done so far for the chickens. We're up to 30 now, so that's fine. And that should be it. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Bye.